Welcome to episode 176 of the Fully In It podcast. This is the second in a series of Q&A episodes that are running during my maternity leave with my fourth baby. These questions were submitted by my Instagram community, and today's topic is on how to grow your email list. Welcome to the Fully In It podcast with Kate Saffel, a show for powerful moms growing life-changing businesses while showing up intentionally for their families. I teach you how to create a family-first and profitable business in less time by leveraging simple strategy, mom life-friendly systems, and above all, the mindset of going fully in it. You ready? So I saw this question and I actually laughed to myself because if I'm being honest with you, growing my email list has been probably one of my biggest challenges in the decade that I have been an online entrepreneur. And it's one of those things that I have seen other people do. And I'm like, oh my goodness, it's so easy for them. How are they growing their lists so quickly? And I think in some ways it's a lot like social media. There are some people who blow up and they go viral and they have a huge following. And then there's others who, they stay pretty steady at a certain follower count. It's kind of the equivalent of my email list. It grows steadily, but it never went big viral. I don't have a huge list. And I share this because I want to first reassure you that if you don't have a big email list or you're just starting out building your email list, that you do not have to have, 10,000, 50,000 people on your email list to be successful, to build a profitable business. I was writing an email last night because I'm recording all of these ahead of having my baby, and I was writing an email to schedule out, and it was an old email I had written. And I was reformatting it. And in the email, I said, I've hit 6 figures with 300 people on my email list. And I want you to know that it's possible to hit your income goals with a very small audience. So that's my initial encouragement. But let's talk about what are some of the actual practices that I'm seeing in 2025 that I think will work for building an email list, remembering that a lot of this is experimentation, knowing your people well, and what draws them in. So my personal hunch, and you can think on this as well, is that the days of the webinar training, that kind of like formal funnel series that we saw for so many years, that those days are over. People are not as likely to opt in for a free masterclass, a free webinar. They are more careful with their time. And ultimately, this means we have to first think about the content that we're putting out into the world. Like say, for example, on your podcast, your YouTube, your Instagram, wherever it is that you show up online, that it is so valuable that they want to be on your email list. And they may not need some fancy thing to opt in with. With that said, I think it never hurts to have some kind of lead magnet that is designed for your best people, that either answers a question that they have, that provides them with the resource that they really need, and that resource would be just a small piece of the puzzle of what you overall offer. Now, if you have a product-based business, I know I've gotten on so many email lists just for that dang discount. I'm like, oh, you're going to give me 15 or 20% off. Okay, I'll join your email list. So I think product-based businesses, maybe you have it a little bit easier. If you're service-based, you provide some kind of service, consulting, coaching, that sort of thing. You're going to want to create whether it's a PDF, an audio download, a collection of short videos that they can watch, little trainings, things like that. But ultimately, what I would just ask yourself is what would appeal most to my people? What would make me want to opt into a list? Kirk and I were talking about this the other day because he was telling me he had gotten on the email list for several people that he follows on LinkedIn. And I was like, well, what got you to get on their list? And he said, it was everything that they were writing on LinkedIn. That was enough for them. And then the person literally said, hey, do you want to join my email list? Like that was one of their posts. And Kirk said, yes, I do. He didn't even need the opt-in. So at the end of the day, I want you to trust yourself. Stop looking for like the perfect strategy of how to get people on your list. If you were to poll, 100 people who've grown huge email lists, I guarantee they would all tell you that they did it in different ways. The key thing here is being consistent in reminding people to get on your email list. And for me, that's always been a struggle. I just forget. I'm like, oh yeah, I would like it if you got on my email list. I just don't think about it so very much. And then maybe that's also because it hasn't impacted my sales. But if I were to start again, like if I were to start my business from scratch, I would make that part of my weekly content strategy is inviting people onto my email list and making sure that I'm creating such amazing value online that they want to stay connected and that they want to read what I have to say. So I hope that encourages you. I'm sorry it's not a 1, 2, 3, here's your perfect strategy to build an insane email list. But isn't it nice sometimes to be honest about what it's really like to be entrepreneurs? So I hope this was helpful, and I will see you in the next Q&A.